Hello. Oh, that's a terrible angle. Is that? Sorry, guys. Hello. Welcome to FPL Mate, your best mate for Fantasy World Cup for the 2022 tournament. My name is Dan, and I have been rushing around setting up. I've literally just now come back from a little holiday. I'm finally back though. I'm back home. You guys may have seen some of my videos in a different room. So I'm really, honestly, I'm still trying to set up my equipment, like whilst we're streaming, which is unfortunate. But we did manage to get the stream up near enough on time. I hope you guys are doing good. I hope you guys are excited. Quiet audio. Okay, we can turn it up a little bit. I haven't set up my microphone properly yet, so let's just turn the gain up a little bit. That should be. Let's see. Hello, hello. Test, 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 test. That should be a little bit better. That should be a little bit better like that. Sorry if it was a little bit quiet. Like I said, I've literally only just got back. Yeah, it's been a bit of a rush to set everything up, to be honest. But no, look, guys, I'm very excited for Fantasy World Cup. I hope you guys are excited as well. Yeah, I've got the wrong team on screen. Let's probably fix that. This is Mrs. FPL Mate's team. This is not my team. Don't worry about that, guys. Don't worry about that. Let's fix that quickly. Better log into my own account so we can see everything. But is everyone set on their teams yet? Are we ready? Or are we still umming and erring about our teams? I've made a couple of changes. Someone says, convince me to play. Honestly, it's a hard sell. I can't lie to you. I can't lie, really. It is not easy to convince people to play this game. It is it's a lot to get your head around, and it's, I don't know, is it possible to make a team in the next hour? Possibly. Right, let me show you my updated team then, guys. Here we go. That is it. This is my team. Show team gang is here. This is not my absolute final team, or it might not be. I don't know if I'm locked in. As like I always say, there is no such thing as a final team until the deadline. There is no such thing. And anyone who tells you there is such thing as a final team before the deadline is lying. They are a liar. They are capping. Let me just post a tweet up as well. I suppose I should tweet out that I'm streaming as well. That's always very, very helpful. We've got to activate our booster as well. We're going to apply the 12th man, and we're going to put that on Mbappe. I know a few people, unfortunately, did play that a little bit early, and I've seen some people with Benzema as their 12th man. Unfortunately, there is no fix for that whatsoever. As soon as I'm organised, guys, and a few more people join, I will start talking properly, and we'll answer some questions, and we'll look through the comments, and we'll hopefully answer all of your final questions. I know there's going to be a lot of questions in the stream. That's absolutely fine. I'm expecting it. Just need to tweet out that I'm live, and then we're ready to go. Apologies for everything being a little bit rushed here, a little bit disorganised at the start, but we are here now. Okay, so first of all, I suppose we should check out some lineups, because the lineup should be out. I'm currently under the assumption that Barsham is going to be the starting goalkeeper for Qatar today, but I'm not sure if that's true or not, because we haven't seen. If we just go on the FIFA website, hopefully they'll show us the lineups here. Lineups. Okay, right. Well, that is a. That's okay. So that's Al Sheeb starting goalkeeper. So that's easy. Let's remove you. Put in Al Sheeb. That's that sorted. Confirm. Easy. So there you go. If you're wondering about that, as in terms of the rest of the lineups, we can see. Some of the main players that people have been talking about. Pervis Estupinian, he is starting. I know some people are on maybe some forwards from Ecuador, maybe not. Afif is probably the main guy to go for from Qatar if you fancy an attacker there. Al Sheeb was obviously a 4 million goalkeeper, so he's pretty nice. But there you go. Those are the lineups. I don't know how many guys you want from these players, but you got some options there. Am I playing my 12th man chip? Yes, I most certainly am. I certainly am. Yep. Oh, goalkeeper. Goalkeeper. Sorry, so Dominguez isn't starting. Galindez is starting, which is kind of interesting. I saw a few people say that Galindez may start ahead of Dominguez. Dominguez is getting a bit old, but like Dominguez has just been their starting goalkeeper most of the time, but obviously that's changed. But I'm off him anyway. Ecuador's goalkeeper is 4 million as well. Is Galindez 4 million? He certainly is. Okay, there's maybe a bargain to be had there. You know, in fact, I mean, I'm kind of playing the field a little bit by going for one from each team, really. So yeah. Anyway, let's before we go any further, deadline, by the way, guys, is at 4 p.m. UK time, so in 52 minutes time. So make sure you are wrapping your teams up. If you want to join a mini league, I have left a link to the FPL Mate mini league in the description as well, if you want to check that out. Let me talk just for a second, because as soon as I let's apply my 12th man now. Nothing's going to change in the next however many times. How do I wait? What? Can I add him as the 12th man? Have I done this correctly? Where do I do this? Okay, so can I... Have I done this wrong? Let's try again. Alright, apply booster, 12th man. Choose your 12th man. Okay, how do I do that? Am I losing it here? Can I just do a plus on Mbappe? Confirm your booster. Yes. Yes, that is exactly what I want to do. All right, there we go. That is my team now. Where are the lineups? The lineups you can find at the or just on the FIFA website in general. It shows lineups there when you click on them. But okay, so now I figured that one out. The reason I've made a couple of changes since the team I posted this morning, because I was looking through my team and I was really having a serious look at it and thinking, what don't I like about this team? Are there any things in this team that I'm not fully comfortable with? And the first thing I wasn't fully comfortable with was De Arrascaeta, who I had put on my bench. Now, something that I don't think many people talk about, but in terms of World Cup fantasy, when we do have this rotating, well, this substitutions rule, in-place substitutions, I really do prefer to have the more punty players starting and then the safer players on the bench. So you can see on screen, guys, all of my cheaper players, Al-Sheeb, Merla, Estepinian, Sosa, Skov Olsen, and De Paul, are all starting. They all start the match, and I'm expecting some of them to fail, right? That's why they're cheap players. That's why they are these low prices. Some of them are going to fail. Have to accept that. And therefore, I've got these backups on the bench. I've got Costa coming in, the strong goalkeeper, De Bruyne, Cancelo, Neymar. Now, because I had De Arrascaeta, he is a player who plays for Uruguay, and Uruguay play on the 24th. They play on the last day of this match day cycle, which is not ideal, because he's not a player I want to sub on, really. He's more of a player I want to take a punt on, and if it doesn't work out, I actually want to sub him off. That didn't really work for me. So what I decided to do is figure out a way of removing him and do the one other thing that I wanted to do, and that was to get another France attacker versus Australia. Now, Griezmann was the player I was looking at mostly, but I wasn't fully convinced by him, really. Like, he's not been scoring or assisting too many goals for France over the last year or so, like, not as much as he used to do. Giroud's record for France recently is actually mad. In fact, I may as well show you guys whilst we're here. Giroud's record for France is pretty good, and with Benzema out, oh, crap. With Benzema out, Mbappe doesn't really work so well in a one-man strike force. So I think France are going to continue to play with two players in the forwards position, with maybe Griezmann in behind. But yeah, you can see here, guys, the last 4 games that Giroud has played for France, all of this year, he scored 3 goals and 1 assist. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. And some of these teams you would say are arguably, you know, maybe even more difficult than Australia as a opposition. So I thought, you know what, let's go for it. Let's go for Giroud. That adds that extra. I've obviously substituted Martinez, Lautaro Martinez out for Giroud, so I've got my extra France attacker, and I've managed to change De Arrascaeta to De Paul, who plays a little bit earlier in the game week, and I do actually like the look of De Paul a lot. I think De Paul is really gonna benefit from the extra points that midfielders can get by making tackles and key passes as well. So this is where we are at. People saying no Netherlands. Yeah, I'm not. I don't think I'm even going to touch the Netherlands until match day 2, because I do think their opening fixture is quite a tough one. You know, like, I think maybe people are taking, they're taking this opening fixture for Netherlands. To be fair, there is one Netherlands player that I'm debating having, and that is, where are you, young man? That is Denzel Dumfries, because he is that, very, very attacking, possible goal scorer for the Netherlands. But I don't like this fixture against Senegal. I think people are underestimating Senegal. Remember, they're the AFCON champions. They're the African champions. They're a very, very good side. They've got some very good players in their team, particularly in the defensive areas. I don't think people should be underestimating Senegal at all. On the other hand, Ecuador and Qatar, I am going to want some Netherlands players for those fixtures. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, the one player that I would consider is Denzel Dumfries. Other than that, I'm not really too interested. I'm going to be using my wild card in Matchday 2. Don't get me wrong, I like a lot of Netherlands players. Not as much as I like some of these other players for Matchday 1. We can talk about, Depay. He's not going to be available for the first game, probably. He might be, but probably not. So he is a player I would really like to have, but he's injured. We've got some other players who are pretty good. We've got Gakpo. We've got Bergwijn. Good picks, don't get me wrong, good picks, but am I going to go for Bergwijn against a strong Senegal team, or am I going to go for Giroud against, Australia? No offense, Australians. Am I going to go for a Bergwijn, or am I going to go for Sarabia against Costa Rica? Now, people who don't follow international football will probably say, well, Sarabia is not a good pick, but he really is. Sarabia is really good. Let's go back again. I've been using this website a lot, just to gather stats, overall stats kind of thing for graphics and stuff. Sarabia for Spain hits differently. You can see, he's scoring every other game. Really, getting assists as well. He's listed as a midfielder, obviously, which helps. He's going to be getting points for creating. He's just very good for Spain. I know people will say, well, he doesn't even play club football. It doesn't matter. And he starts every game as well. I know, pretty much every single game anyway. You can see he's starting near enough every single game for Spain as well. I know people are thinking that he's a bad player. You'll see. You will soon see. Rohith is coming in with the $20 super chat. So thank you very much, Rohith. That is very, very generous. Hey, Dan, will Costa play? Because Patricio played in the friendly and Enrique usually swaps an entire 11. My predicted front three is Olmo, Morata, Ferran. Love the work, by the way. Big fan. Well, thank you very much, Rohith. In terms of Spain, I am confident about Sarabia. Look, I may get this wrong, but, I'm putting my money where my mouth is in terms of this one. I obviously want to do well in World Cup Fantasy, and I really like Sarabia. I think he is good. You say your predicted front three involves Morata, but is he going to be available? We're not actually sure if he's going to be fit for that first game, so it's difficult to say there. But no, I would expect Sarabia to. I'd be very surprised if Sarabia wasn't involved. I really would. He just starts every single game. In terms of Patricio playing in the friendly, Diogo Costa's played near enough every game recently for Portugal. I know Patricio has played some games reasonably. Oh, what do I keep clicking on? I keep clicking on these ads. And now if we look through Diogo Costa for the national team, he has been the preferred goalkeeper recently, playing most matches. Not every match, of course, but playing most matches. But yeah, you make a good point about the friendly. Does it concern me? I mean, I guess a little bit. In terms of other goalkeepers for 5 million, is there really anyone I'd be interested in? I mean, there's a couple of 4 million goalkeepers I'm interested in, to be fair. I don't really want to be spending too much on a goalkeeper, though, to be honest. And again, remember, guys, we do have transfers. And this is a stupidly complicated rule. But between Matchday 1 starting and Matchday 1 ending, let me get this right, you get two free transfers to use that you can use during the match day, as long as you're swapping out a player who hasn't played yet for another player who hasn't played yet. Wild, I know. But you do get those 2 free transfers to use if something does go horribly, horribly wrong. So, it could happen. Let's see. Ben Story says, "Hi Dan, why do you think Kane isn't being selected much? Is it because of captaincy, rather Captain Messi, or XGI with playing deeper? Keep it up." Thank you, Ben. First of all, I don't really know if Kane plays too deep. I think it's more like England play deep. England is just not very well known in recent years for scoring a lot of goals. Kane is a fantastic player, but it's mostly going to be penalties that he's scoring because England just don't create enough chances in football games, in international football games. And I think a lot of people don't have full confidence in England to do well in the attacking areas, which is why we see players like Trippier and Shaw selected, because England's defence, absolutely fine. Kept a clean sheet every single game in the Euros, all the way up until the semi-finals, which is quite amazing, really. Don't create enough chances. And to be honest, looking through the group, there is no weak teams here. Iran is, on paper, looks like an easy game, but they're a decent football side. USA, England probably have the best chance. And, Wales, you expect England to win, but you don't expect England to score several goals. So I think that's why Kane and England forwards in general and midfielders are not being selected very, very frequently because, how many goals do England score? Unless you're an England fan, in which case you would go for them. But remember, guys, if you're not from England, you probably hate England. That's what I found. People hate England. People hate England fans. Fine, fair enough. We take the L, I suppose. The only people who are going to be picking England players are people from England. And I think that might be impacting, the stats of what is a worldwide game as well. So I'm not really fully convinced by England players, really. Got another super chat here from Duncan. £5. Thank you very much, Duncan. Help spend 2 million in the bank. Have Costa, Moyes, there's a lot of players. I'm not going to read them all out for you guys. 2 million in the bank, though. Could we maybe upgrade Olsen to Ericsson? Could maybe do Olsen to Ericsson. Could maybe do... you know what? That's pretty much the main one, right? Olsen to Ericsson, that looks pretty good. Pretty straightforward as well. Pretty straightforward. Matthew says, Bruno Fernandes is a good option. I think so. Giroud or Martinez. I like both. I don't know. I think I prefer Martinez, but it depends on your squad structure, There we go. Get Pasveer from Netherlands. You know what? I did have a look at that as an option, to be fair. But again, this Senegal game, I think it's a tough fixture. It is a tough fixture. Oh, by the way, guys, I didn't even mention this yet. I've got 1 million in the bank, and I haven't 100% decided what to spend it on. I've got a couple of ideas, but we'll reveal that closer to the deadline, I think. But I do have 1 million in the bank to spend here, and I think I know what I'm going to do with it. I think I know. Best Belgium asset aside from KDB? Ooh, tough one. Yeah, there isn't. I mean, Eden Hazard is a punt, maybe on penalties. Ecuador keeper is also 4 million and starting. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I want to hedge my bets, really. Nopper is starting, not Pasveer. That's a good point, actually. In fact, I read that this morning. Why did I forget that? No, not even this morning. I read that in the car back home. I was a passenger, by the way. I wasn't just on my phone and driving. I read that an hour ago. Yeah, Nopper is starting. That was confirmed today, wasn't it? And there we go. Ecuador, yeah, a lot of people saying that Ecuador 4 million goalkeeper is starting. Yeah, if anyone wants to go for that, then please do go ahead. Please do go ahead. Why do you prefer Sarabia over Bergwijn? Easier fixture. It's the main reason. Base Robin says Batshuayi. Yes, I like Batshuayi as a pick. He's pretty good. The issue I have with Batshuayi is that I don't know if I'd be willing to waste a forward slot on him, really. There's too many other forwards that I like. Obviously you're going to have Messi in there automatically. You're probably going to have one more premium forward. And then you've got the likes of Giroud. You've got the likes of Martinez. Are you going to go for Batshuayi? I mean, you could do. It's an interesting differential for sure. But I think that's what kind of puts me off a little bit. Are you down on Steven Bergwijn? I just dropped Olsen and made room to start Bergwijn with the pie out. I'm not down on him at all. I think he's a fantastic player, and I think he's a fantastic pick. Better pick for match day 2 and 3 than he is 1. Did I enjoy Devon? I did. Thank you for asking, Haley. Yeah, it was decent, to be fair. A little bit worn out now. A lot of walking. But yes, lovely. Batshuayi If Giroud doesn't start, yeah, there's an option there. What do you think about Benzema? Not in the squad. He's had to withdraw from the squad. He's too injured. He is too injured to play. So that's really unfortunate for Benzema, really. Morata I like as a differential as well. As long as he's available. Let's see. We don't know. I feel like it's still a little bit up in the air. Unless something else has come out this morning that I don't know about. To be fair. I'm sorry, but Giroud will be no match for the mighty Australians. So, I swear I have so many Australian followers. I think it's because I upload videos so late at night. All the time. Why no Mbappe? Have a little cheeky look into the top left corner of the screen, my friend. Does Rocher start? Yes. Yes, we believe so. We believe so. I wonder if I should go for a slightly safer goalkeeper as my backup goalkeeper. The more I think about it. Maybe we go safer. I don't want to spend more than 5 million though. The thing is, do I really want to waste a transfer on him if it goes badly mid-game week? Possibly not. Who could we go for? We go for Sommer against Cameroon. That's not the worst shout in the world. Who else could we go for potentially here? I mean, there's not a lot. I could go for one of the cheap guys. I quite fancy Senegal. I know they're Mane-less, but still, I kind of do fancy them. Obviously, he's not going to play with Courtois in there. Yeah, maybe I could go a little bit safer. Maybe I go a little bit safer with my goalkeeper. Like Sommer does stick out to me a little bit. How much is Patricio actually? Rui Patricio is 4 million. I could do the. I mean, no, there's no point. There's no point, is there? Is my 12th man locked in? It certainly is. I don't really. I just fancy Senegal. I don't know. I don't know. Rocher. Go for a little Ferrero. Korea. Is Son going to be available for that match? Possibly not. And it frees up another million. I'm freeing up more money than I can spend, if I'm honest here, guys. Ah, dear. I mean, it is an option. It is an option. For sure. For sure. Can you use a booster every match day? Yeah, you can, but you only have 3 boosters to use throughout the whole tournament. So not every match day technically, but yeah, you can keep using them. How do you change your 12th man? You can't, unfortunately. Once it's locked, it's locked. And I know that sucks as a rule, but when you click 12th man, like it does make the rule very, very clear that once you have picked your 12th man, you cannot change it anymore. It does say that. It puts it in massive writing. Warning, only play this if you're 100% sure. You cannot change it after. So you kind of understand it, right? Duncan's back. Me again. Bergwijn to Di Maria then. Dumfries to Cancelo. I would be going that way, but I know a lot of people are really fancying Dumfries for this opening fixture. I just have a good feeling about Senegal. I feel like people really are underestimating Senegal, and I don't know why, but they are. Well, in my opinion, anyway. But I could be wrong. So if you want Dumfries instead of Cancelo, you don't have to pick the same team as me. Definitely like the Di Maria shout though. Definitely like the Di Maria shout. Do you have to pick your 12th man before? I don't actually know. Can you use your boosters mid match day? I haven't read that. I mean, I'm setting mine now. I'm setting mine now. Just not think about it. No, there you go. Can you bench the 12th man? No, you cannot. You cannot. Who am I? I really kind of want to go for the Portugal goalkeeper. I really kind of want Diogo Costa in here. I'm gonna reconfirm him. I'm just happy with him. But I have got like I say, I have got 1 million in the bank, which I'm probably gonna spend on something. I don't know what yet. Okay, Count Sealor says you have to play the booster pre-deadline. So yeah, if you're gonna use that booster, use it in the next half an hour. Can captains be changed? Yeah, you can play. You can change your captains as many times as you want until your captain plays their game. After your captain has played their game, you can change it once more. Once more. So there you go. There's a couple of answers to a couple of questions. Yeah, let's. I'll try and answer as many questions about the gameplay as well as players here. So if you guys got any questions about the gameplay, I finally understand 99% of the rules, which is interesting. Which Uruguay goalkeeper is starting? It is, hang on, I will show you. It is this guy, the 4 million guy, which is helpful. Pretty helpful. So yeah, Sergio Rocher. Ferrero Rocher. So if you fancy a 4 million goalkeeper, hey, why not? Why not? The only reason I'm not going for him is because I want to play my 4 million goalkeeper first, and then I want to play my backup goalkeeper after that. Who's England's starting goalkeeper? Pickford. Jordan Pickford. Can I substitute a player who's already played? Yes, you can. So, okay, for example, in my team, I'm expecting some of these players to score low points, as I was kind of saying earlier. So, for example, and this is why I've got all of my good players, my best player, well, a lot of my best players are playing later on in the week because they're my safe picks. They're my backup picks, right? So, I've got some risky picks on the field. Sosa playing earlier on in the game week. So, if Sosa gets a 1-pointer or a 0-pointer, scores very, very low, then what I can do is I can make the decision to put on, Cancelo. Or, I could put De Bruyne on. I probably would put De Bruyne on because he plays first. So I take out Sosa and I put on De Bruyne. So that's fine. You can do that. After a player has played, you can substitute another player on as long as the player you are substituting on has not played yet. And this is why on my bench you will see these are all players who play on the final day of the match day. So I can substitute them on, but only because they haven't played yet, or when they haven't played yet. As soon as they kick off, I can no longer sub them in. So you've got to be on the ball, guys. You've got to remember to do your substitutions. You've got to make sure you're doing it. Another thing to note is that once you've made your substitution, that's final. So if you take out Sosa, he scored a 1-pointer. You substitute on De Bruyne, and De Bruyne gets a 0-pointer. That's too bad. You are stuck with that 0-pointer. So that is probably that kind of, I know a lot of you guys will know that or all of that already, but I think that really is the best tip in this whole game, that you can do these live substitutions. I feel like just knowing that will put you in the top 10% of players, because 90% of players playing this fantasy game are not going to understand that rule. They really aren't. So yeah, by knowing that, you're going to be at a huge, huge advantage. I really feel that way. Giroud or Gakpo? Well, I mean, have a look at my team. Hate your goalkeeper. And Estepinian calls. Madness. Is it madness? Why is it madness? I mean, like I keep saying, I'm putting risky players on to start off with, and then I've got safe players on the bench. Like, do we really feel like Qatar, unless the match fixing thing is true, there's every chance that the opening fixture ends in a 0-0 or a 1-0 either way. That's probably the most likely outcome. It's a low-scoring game, I would say, because Ecuador, in general, keep score lines very, very low. They can't really attack, but they can defend. And they can upset some teams as well. Let's have a look at Ecuador. Let's just go on Estepinian, for example. They always do the ad pop up just as I'm about to click. It's so frustrating. Right, Estepinian scored a couple of goals for Ecuador as well, by the way, in his time, which is always nice. So yeah, there you go. If anyone's concerned about Estepinian and thinks it's a bit of a random shout, he does occasionally get a goal. But you can see, if you look over the last, 6 games, Ecuador's last 6 games, they've kept clean sheets. Even if you go before that, not bad. And look at some of these results here as well. 1-1 against Brazil, 1-1 against Argentina, 0-0 against Mexico. Not a bad team. They are far better in defense than they are attack. Genuinely. This is a lot of clean sheets. I know people think of Ecuador as a tiny team, not very good. They are a frustrating, from everything I've read, they have been a really frustrating team to play against. So, therefore. We're all about Estupinian, or or the 4 million goalkeeper from Ecuador who is playing, Galindez, Hernan Galindez. We look at the lineups for the game. We can see Hernan Galindez is starting. So if you fancy him, I mean, I could double up on Ecuador, but I would rather play the field a little bit here. I would rather hedge my bets a little bit on this one. Because as I say, we have that live substitution. If I lose, if I have double Ecuador defense and they both blank, then that's 2 substitutions I need to make. If one team keeps a clean sheet and the other one doesn't, then I only have one player to substitute off. That's my kind of thinking, to be fair. Why Al-Sheeb over Ecuador? Oh, I literally just answered that one, so I won't answer that again. How do I select the 12th man? Okay, you click on the top, the left corner to activate your booster. And once your booster is activated, you can click the plus sign on any player in the player pool. And it puts them in. What do you think about Schmeichel? Not bad. Oh, wow, I have the wrong goalkeeper for Ecuador. Yeah, a lot of people did. Why Giroud? Because he's going to start and he's playing against Australia and he's got He scored, what did we say earlier, guys? 3 goals and 1 assist in Giroud's last 4 starts for France, all this year. And he's 35 years old, this man, but he is still banging them in for France. I know. I would have never... When he was playing for Arsenal, I would never expect him to be banging goals in for France at a World Cup against Australia at 35 years old. But here we are. Here we are. Few people saying there's a 3.5 million... Oh, a 3 million defender for Qatar. Can we have a look at this player? Which one is it? Name him. I think a few people might be interested in that. If you're trying to cut some corners with your budget a little bit, maybe you can go. So the 3 million defenders are Salmon and Kuki. So that would mean... There he is. Kuki. Boulem Kuki. If you fancy a 3 million defender... I mean, should I do it? And put 0.5 million in the bank? I'm not totally against that. I think I prefer Sosa because he's playing as a wing back as well, and Croatia are obviously known as a little bit of a better side. So, I like if other people want to go for it, then absolutely, why not? If you are looking to save a little bit of money, now would be a good time to make a last minute switch to Cookie. Now that you have that information, for sure. For sure. But, I know people probably think, maybe swap Estupinian and Al-Sheeb for, Galindez and Kuki. But really, I do fancy Estupinian for, potential attacking returns. And I do fancy Al-Sheeb for maybe a couple of saves. Maybe. Yeah, I could swap. If I was desperate for money, I would do that, Count Sealor, but I'm not. I have 1 million in the bank right now that I don't even know where I want to spend. If I'm going for some punty players, I want them at least to be punty players that I'm a little bit excited by. My punts in this team are Al-Sheeb, Estupinian, Sosa, Scout Olsen, Sarabia, DePaul. I'm expecting a couple of them to blank, but I have 4 people on my bench. There genuinely could be a situation where I might not substitute on Cancelo, for example. Surely I have to though. Surely I have to. Why? Oh, a lot of people are going to keep asking me about Sarabia. Go look up Sarabia and Sarabia's performances for Spain. Honestly. Could get Sane in? I don't want Sane. I think he's an overrated pick. I know that's going to be controversial, but I think Sane is an overrated pick. I'm probably going to eat my words on that one. I know a lot of people showing him a lot of love, and I do agree he is one of the better picks, but I prefer Di Maria at a similar price. So let's see what happens there, I guess. But yeah, Sane, if you actually look at Sane's record for Germany, it's not actually that good. It's okay. It's pretty good. I'm not saying it's a bad pick. He's listed as a midfielder as well, which really does help. So there's a lot of good things to like about Sane, but at the same time, he hasn't scored in his last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 appearances for Germany. The last time he scored was against Liechtenstein. The time before that was Iceland. The time before that was Liechtenstein. The time before that was Latvia. Assist against North Macedonia. Assist against Iceland. A goal against Ukraine. Like, come on, guys. Like, Estonia. Belarus. I know that we're probably going back a bit too far there, to be fair. But you kind of see what I mean. It's not for me. I don't think he's for me. I just don't know if he suits this Germany system. But look, if you fancy it, go for it. Adastra says, hi, which captain order? Kane, Messi, or Messi, Neymar? I prefer... I prefer Messi, Neymar. Would you go for the 4 million Ecuador keeper or the 4 million Uruguay keeper? Definitely go for the Ecuador keeper because he plays for the first match, and then have your safety goalkeeper on your bench. I much prefer that. Best midfielder under 9 million, probably Di Maria. Like he's like the 9 million region midfielder I've gone for. Really like him. Sane replacements. I mean, look, you don't have to replace him. If you like Sane, you can go for him. I just don't like him personally. But Di Maria. Di Maria is who I would go for. Is that, like, actually, to be fair, is there any... There's not that many players in that region that I like for the opening fixture other than Di Maria. I mean... Bruno Fernandes, I think I prefer to Leroy Sané as well. I think Bruno Fernandes with the key pass rule has got a lot of opportunity to get some points. So if you can free up 0.5 million to go Sané to Fernandes, I would probably be doing that. Di Maria we already mentioned. I don't think there's too many. Christian Eriksen I quite like. Aside, after that, we're getting kind of cheap. But yeah, I like Christian Eriksen, you know. What do you think about Williams defender, 4.5 million? Yeah, it's not bad. It doesn't excite me. Like, the 4.5 million defenders that you really want are Merla. After Merla, it's kind of like there's nothing amazing, and every one of them is going to be a little bit of a punt. So you never know fully how they're going to turn out, if they'll be good or bad. But as long as you've got a strong bench, why not? Why not go for some attacking style cheap defenders like Merla, you know, Estupinian. Go for some fullbacks. Go for some fullbacks that play in some advanced positions, or, you know, a centre back that you think could score a header, and just see what happens. And you might get lucky. And if you don't get lucky, that's fine. That's why we got the substitute rule. Fabian Schär, yeah, possibly. Yeah, goal scoring defender. He's only 4 million as well, Fabian Schär. I think he's a really good pick. If you want to cheat that cheap defender, I would really consider it. I would really consider it. FPL FC says, why are people using early chips? And I'm happy to answer this because this is actually a really good piece of advice. So the reason why you're going to see a lot of content creators and the like using their chips early is because during the group stages of the tournament, this is where most goals are scored. This is where most of your points will be gained. After the group stages, it will be much harder to move rank. Because everyone will start having more and more similar teams as we gravitate towards the final. Everyone's team will start looking pretty much identical, and there's not really going to be much opportunity to gain rank, really. The score lines will be pretty low in the later rounds in the tournament. We won't have these big teams versus these small teams because all the small teams will be knocked out, and all the big teams are playing against each other. So they're naturally going to be really, fiercely contested games, low scoring. Everyone's playing with a little bit more fear, and they're playing against tougher oppositions as well. So the real points are, in any fantasy football game, the big points are where teams win 5-0 or 4-0 or 3-0. And that's going to happen far more frequently in the group stages than it is in the later stages of the tournament. So that is why you're going to see a lot of people using those chips, going all in on these group stages, because you're going to, the biggest part of what defines your rank will be how well you perform as a fantasy manager in the group stages. This is the big time. After that, you can still move around a little bit, but as we get later and later on in the tournament, you're pretty much going to be stuck at your rank. It's in a kind of depressing way. So yeah, that's why I have got Mbappe as my 12th man. We're going to go for it straight away off the rip. Most expensive player in the game. Makes sense to use it on him. I want to have a couple of attackers from France. Let's do that the best way we can while saving money. Alan Yetarian says, opinions on Højbjerg. I mean, he wouldn't be my first choice. I don't think, like, actually, how much is he again? He's not, like, super cheap, is he? From what I remember. No, he's not. 6.5 million. He's not going to be playing in the same kind of positions as he has been for Spurs. Just because we're going to see the more forward positions occupied by Eriksen, Damsgaard, Scout Olsen, possibly, well, obviously we've got the striker as well, who is probably going to be Dolberg? Could a Wind play there, possibly? Poulsen doesn't really play too much for Denmark anymore, does he? It's mostly... Or have I got that wrong? I've spelt that wrong. Let's have a look. I mean, I'm not really interested anyway, because I think their price range is tragic. I'm not paying that much money for a Denmark striker. I do apologise. Okay, so maybe it's just partially down to some injury problems, but yeah, he's not been playing very much for Denmark recently. Any Danes in the chat? Who's going to be your striker? It's going to be Dolberg, right? Not that anyone is going for him, by the way. So, in fact, we're 15 minutes out of the deadline, so maybe we shouldn't be looking up for random Danish forwards. It's not really too relevant. But yeah, Højbjerg, basically, what I was really saying is Højbjerg is going to be playing fairly deep. Fairly deep. Opinion on Shaqiri? Kind of like him. Any Germany attackers you would go for outside Sane? Not really. Yeah, the fact that Sane is my favourite and I still don't like him that much, I don't think so. Lautaro Martinez a bad pick? No, I think Lautaro Martinez is a good pick. Do you think Rasmus Christensen starts? Yes, I do think he does, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm like 70% sure. There's a good chance that the Wind comes in there. There's a Wind, I believe, is the other player who sometimes plays in that right wing back position. Duncan says, best 4 million and under defender / goalkeeper. Do we need a second goalkeeper? I would start a 4 million goalkeeper and then have a backup option to see if it just in case it doesn't work. If you want a 4 million goalkeeper, you know, you've got the Uruguay goalkeeper, whose name escapes me. He's 4 million and he's going to be starting. There's Al-Shib in this opening fixture. There is the Ecuador guy as well, Galindez, who is starting as well today. So you can go for him possibly. There's a few decent ones. In terms of defenders, Sosa is probably the best 3.5 million defender. 4 million, you're looking at Fabian Schär maybe. It's probably my favourite 4 million defender. So there we go. Pavard, not attacking enough. Not attacking enough for me. Best 8.5 million and below forward. Martinez, Giroud, Morata if you think he's going to start. It's probably... Those are my 3 top ones. Who will be the Dutch keeper? Is his name Pasveer? No. It's not. It's so many names to remember, man. Noppert. This guy. He is going to be the Dutch starting goalkeeper. Opinions on Dorm? Do I know who that is? There is no player called that. Damsgaard? Dorm? Dumfries? I don't know who that is. Dorm? He hasn't. I don't think he's come up in any of my research, or maybe he has. Maybe I'm spelling it wrong. Put a spelling correction in the chat if you know it. João Felix? Maybe. Musiala? To be fair, I do quite like Musiala from Germany. I do quite like him, but he is a punt. He has not really done very much for. He has not really done very much for Germany yet, but his club form is fantastic. Aha. I mean, maybe Raum. Yeah. I've worked it out. Thanks. Cheers, chat. By the way, you smashed that. Chat is always so smart. You guys know. You guys just know what's up. What do I think about him? How confident are we he's going to start? Let's have a look. How confident are we? I mean, this friendly suggests that someone else played the other half, so it's between two players, I'm guessing. So who did he come off for? Oh, Chris Gunter. I mean, that looks... It's not that risky, really, is it? I wouldn't say that's too risky. I would consider that. Yeah, I would consider going for him as a 4.5. I wouldn't go for him over players like Mela. I would try and go for some more forward playing wing backs. I know Germany don't typically play with super when they play fairly advanced, but they're not kind of inside take a shot. I want the take a shot kind of fullback. That's what I would prefer to go for. Like the likes of Mela, Sosa. Not Sosa, sorry. Estepinian, Cancelo. CMC says, great vid with your wife. My girlfriend picked her squad too. She says your wife has the same logic. Do match day reviews, videos with your wife, please. I might do some more stuff with her on my second channel. Let's see. The thing is, they don't really get, like, the Mrs. FPL Mate videos, because they're, like, just fun videos, like, they're just entertainment, really. They're not meant to be advice. I think a lot of people kind of associate this channel with advice stuff, so maybe we need to move some more fun videos over to the second channel. Maybe this is not the right place for it. Best France defender to go for? Oh, I don't know. Who takes pens for Qatar? It is this guy, Akram Afif. This guy. If you fancy a 4.5 million forward, why not? Hey mate, Sarabia or Ericsson, both good picks. If you can afford Ericsson and you're just going to be wasting the 0.5, then go for Ericsson. But if you can use that 0.5 million elsewhere, then go for Sarabia. Are you using the 12th man? I certainly am. I need to scroll up a little bit so you guys can see, but I am indeed. What about Gavi or Darwin? We're getting quite punty at that point. But for your punts, you don't really want to be spending too much money, I don't think. If you're going to go for expensive players, you want them to be fairly reliable, I think. Matty Cash for 4 million? Yeah, I like him as well. He's one of my favourite 4 million defenders. One of my favourite cheaper defenders. Asensio? I prefer Sarabia. Why doesn't the game tell you when the deadline is? Yeah, Jordan, that is a great point. I don't know. I don't know. I was wondering this earlier. Like, it should say. I mean, I'm assuming. I feel like I feel like this is true. The deadline is like in 10 minutes, because that's what it says in the rules. That as soon as the game is. The problem is with this game is there isn't a deadline in the traditional sense. It's more like, because the game is ongoing, it's not like anything cuts off. So maybe my mistake is putting deadline stream, because there isn't really, it's such an involved game. It doesn't stop. It's not like FPL where everything stops once the first game starts. It's not like that. It's very much an interactive game. So yeah, maybe that's kind of the idea. And you'll still be able to make transfers after 4 p.m. You'll just only have 2 transfers to use, as far as I'm aware. Sosa isn't not starting. Yeah, everything I've read, all Croatian journalists and stuff like that, it all saying Sosa is going to start. So, I mean, what am I going to believe? What am I going to believe? Sarabia or Perisic? Definitely Sarabia. Why are most experts avoiding Cristiano Ronaldo? I think there's just better options. Like Messi and Neymar at the same price have better fixtures. And are arguably better players and more sharp players right now as well. Yeah. Matchday crossover stream. I don't know. Should we be doing streams every day at this point? Maybe. Why Giroud? Because he's going to be starting and scoring against Australia. Giroud versus Martinez. That is kind of up to you. That's a coin toss. Like, I would probably, if I could have 4 Argentina players, and I know technically I actually can do that, I probably would go for Martinez ahead of Giroud, probably. But De Paul, man. De Paul. Valverde, I don't like. Ben is back again with another super chat. Thank you very much, Ben. Is there any logic in playing a Qatari striker, banking 3/4 million, and then transferring him out for a Giroud/Martinez if he flops? Yes and no. I like it. I do like it. But that means you are going to be using one of your 2 free transfers you can use during the game, the match day. And you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if you're going to get another emergency and you desperately want to change something. Like, even if only one of your players is goes bad, like, for example, I don't know. Say, for example, Giroud isn't starting and you're panicking. You've only got 1 transfer left. Now, logic says, oh, that's fine. You've got 1 transfer, 1 player to move out. Sorted. But what if you want to move Giroud to an 8 million or an 8.5 and you don't have the money in the bank? Having that second transfer, is going to be helpful. And I know you're saying like banking 3 or 4 million, so it kind of in a way sorts it out. But what if there are other problems? It's a dangerous plan. I love your thinking though. I love the fact that people are coming up with these different ideas of trying to use little strategies among the rules. And I've been doing it, the exact same thing myself. Trying to think of little tiny strategies here and there. And I have thought of a few. Some I've decided to implement, some I haven't as much. But yeah, I love your thinking. I'm personally going to try and not book in any transfers, do things fairly reactively, and hopefully I'll be able to make multiple transfers to move some money around as well if I need to. But I've already got 1 million in the bank, which I am going to spend in the next 5 minutes. Di Maria versus Musiala, not even a competition there. Not, as far as I'm concerned, it's not even a debate. Di Maria. Nunez or Martinez? Martinez. If we're talking about Lautaro, Martinez, easy. Theo Hernandez, I'm not 100% sure if Theo is going to start or if other matey Hernandez. Why has his name escaped me? You guys are going to be screaming in the chat. Other matey Hernandez, Lucas Hernandez. I'm not sure if Theo or Lucas is going to start. I think a lot of people have been suggesting that Lucas is going to start. Why don't you get Bergwijn instead of Olsen? I could do it. I actually really like Olsen. I really like him. Do the 2 transfers during match day stay on match day 2? That one I don't know. Well, definitely 2 won't. I think you can only roll 1 transfer, so you can't move 2 into match day 2. But the 2 transfers that you randomly get to use during match day 1 is just like the one bit of the rules where it's kind of like they chucked it in last minute because they couldn't really decide how to work it. Like otherwise, like typically you would expect the game to have unlimited transfers during match day 1, but then they obviously thought, well, actually that's not really fair. Let's just give them 2. So who knows how that's going to work. Shakalaka Mekaleka says, all the best everyone, but there can only be 1 mini league winner. And that's going to be me. So thank you. Thank you for acknowledging that, Shakalaka Mekaleka. I'm joking, guys. But yeah, join the mini league, by the way, guys. Link in the description. Let's see if you can beat me. Can you beat the mate? Let's see. Where can I see the lineups for a match that's about to begin? I'll just show you on the FIFA website. I mean, you can go on pretty much any website that shows lineups and stuff, but on the FIFA website, it shows here the tournaments, well, when the game is going to start. You click on the fixture there, scroll down, lineups, boom. And that's probably where you're going to see it first. Probably. And then all the other websites will kind of catch up. Okay. Right. I need to, I have to be honest with you guys. I'm going to be doing 1 more transfer. I'm going to do that now. And I'm going to do it on my phone as well. And that's going to be it. Just because, obviously I want to give you a good idea of what my team is going to be, but what I don't want, and I know this will happen with World Cup Fantasy, is there'll be a few people watching right now who will just be copying this team because they can't be bothered to do research on random players from Croatia. But look, I understand it. If you only watch the Premier League, for example, doing research on all kinds of other players it is work. It is work. Understanding the rules, it is work. So I get it. But at the same time, I don't want people being able to follow my team exactly. Well, it'd be impossible to follow exactly anyway, but yeah, if your team is similar just by coincidence, then that's obviously absolutely fine. But right, that's my final change done. Yeah, I think I'm sorted. I think I'm done. And I'll show you my... I will show you my transfer. Quick, best 5 million midfielder to pull. Easy, done. Raum or Estepinian? I would go for Estepinian because it's an easier fixture, and I think Estepinian's got the potential to score goals as well, and he's on some set pieces, which is always very nice. Best 5 million defender, not Trippier. Ooh, I'll drop down to Merla if you have him. Give a clue on your transfer. It's an upgrade. I've used my 1 million in my bank, and I've upgraded someone in my starting 11. Not on the bench, on the starting 11, I've upgraded one of them. So there you go. Other than the pull, oh my word. After that, you're struggling. You are struggling. You're just picking the best of a bad bunch, who's probably not going to get you any points, so just pick whoever's cheapest. Thoughts on Meunier? Not massively keen, but like not bad. Not a bad pick, but not, I don't think, amazing pick. Any price changes in this game? This is not stated anywhere in the rules, so I can only assume that there's no price changes. Is Frimpong going to start? Possibly, yeah. Possibly. Uruguay goal, actually, is from... No, to be fair, Frimpong is probably not going to start, no, because Dumfries will start. So, yeah, probably not, unless they put him on the left, but the Daily Blint will be on the left. I don't know. Pasalic, yeah, actually, that's not a bad shout. Yeah, yeah, Pasalic, yeah, he's 5 million, right? The two, I mean, we're really running out of time. But yeah, don't expect too much. But Pasalic or Vlasic works as well. One of them. But by the time my voice reaches you, it's probably post deadline anyway. Pavard off the eye, Hernandez. Pavard is safer, but he's not going to get you any points other than clean sheet points. Lucas Hernandez is very likely to start ahead of Theo, which I think is going to upset some people. In fact, you know what I'm really interested in? Who are the most popular players right now? It was like the buy, sell, keep, avoid of this thing. What's that situation? All right, guys. I'm hoping you guys are locked into your team right now. And the only thing you don't need to worry about too much is oh, hang on. It's just done something. And there we go, guys. I'm guessing that's because the deadline just passed. We're locked. Well, I mean, we're not actually locked, are we? We can still do stuff. Time's up. I mean, it's not. You can still do stuff. You can still make changes. The game's kicked off, and I'm not watching it, which is problematic. Maybe I should put it on my... get that game going on my laptop. You know what? Nah, I'm not staying on stream anyway because I'm absolutely knackered. But yeah, so there we go, guys. My final transfer in the last minute, just to let you guys know, was switching out Trippier and putting in Jordi Alba. So that's who I've gone for. Yeah. I've decided to go against England and go completely Englandless. I've gone completely Englandless. So no Trippier. We have gone for Alba instead. Which is an interesting shout, I understand. Let's see how it goes. Good fixture. Good opening fixture. Costa Rica, we're expecting a clean sheet in that game. Like, strongly expecting a clean sheet. And Alba is partial to the odd goal, which is what we like. I think he could get a 10-pointer plus. Potentially. We'll see, I guess. We'll see. But there we go, guys. We'll call it there because I do want to go watch the game. I'm sure a lot of you guys want to go watch the game as well. We'll catch up again soon. I will be making videos all throughout the tournament, by the way. So we're going to have some advice and we'll do loads of reaction stuff on Twitter. So yeah, make sure you're following my Twitter account at FPL Mate. We'll be tweeting live tips and stuff like that and commenting on all the games and just talking about it in general. That's going to be pretty interesting, I think. And, of course, join the mini-league. Link in the description if you want to compete against all of us. So, yeah, that should be pretty fun as well. But we're going to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining us on this deadline stream for World Cup Fantasy. I hope you guys enjoy the opening game if you are watching it. And most of all, good luck. I hope you all do really, really well as long as you don't beat me. Like you got like as long as like I'm the top, like, you guys can do as well as you like, as long as I'm beating you. Yeah, thanks guys, appreciate you. Good luck, enjoy the footy, and I will see you later, mates. Bye bye.